Hey, hope everybody's doing well. Sorry, I haven't been around with any new content for a couple of months. I actually came down with COVID. It ravaged through my family. Everybody was fine except me. I'm still kind of coughy and stuff, so excuse me, I might be hacking a little bit in this video, but otherwise I'm doing pretty well. So, this arrived quite a while ago, like a month or more, and I was saving it to unbox because, as mentioned, I wasn't feeling too well. It's Into the Woods, the Battle of Shiloh, April 6 to 7, 1862, part of the Great Battles of the American Civil War series from GMT Games. The series was designed by Richard Berg, who's a bit of a legend in the wargaming community, and this game was designed by Dick Whitaker. And on the cover we've got very nice, a nice art, looks like a museum piece from the battle. And on the back, if we flip over the box, we have picture of the map of the area, very wooded with the river running down, Pittsburgh Landing, big part of the battle, and a little bit of some of the counters, the game components, description of the game, the complexity. It's a 7 on the GMT scale, which is actually quite high, so this is kind of I'd imagine a complex game. And it says 3 to 8 hours to play. With the complexity, unless you're like very familiar with the system, that'd be a bit longer. I don't think you could really pull off the campaign in like 8 hours. So let's open it up and take a look at what we've got in here. All right, give it a little shake. And the first thing we have is the battle book with our table of contents. It's fairly thick and it goes over the rules and it's got the scenarios. So let's open it up. I will. Yeah. It is 56 pages. And it's text heavy, as you can see. Quite text heavy. Nice map. Good quality. It's a GMT book. Nice photos, nice pictures. Like good heavy paper stock. Great print job. The actual correct Confederate flag. So this has got a lot of scenario things where they come in. Nice art again. Designer notes. There we go. And then you've got the rule book for the series. This is one thing that I was a bit iffy about with picking up this game. It's rules heavy. It's got 2 rule books, one for the series and one specially for this this game, this battle. So this is about 44 pages. And it's the same as the previous book. Here. Pictures. A few pictures. It is text heavy. Let me just go come up right here. So just a breakdown of how the counters work. Name, rank, initiative, division leader. etc. How the die works. So it is your standard rule book with, range, movement, etc. If you're familiar with war games, this one might not be too hard. It'd have a lot of concepts people would understand. And then we get into our counters, so I'll come in a bit close here. Excellent. These are actually smaller counters than I was expecting. GMT had recently been putting out like big chunky counters. All right, here, let's get a close-up. So these are like special markers, line, march, collapsed. If I pop one out, they come out very, very easily. And they are thick, standard, double-sided GMT counters. And we get into our sheets and units. So 1, 2, and then we get numbers, possibly for losses or damage. Some more things with some special markers on low ammo and such. And then just 2 sheets of units. So if we pull up here, you can see we've got like Grant and Buell, the 2 big leaders, all the and different divisions and units, their strength, movement, etc. And I'll just pop one out here. They come out again pretty easily. Good cut. Good thickness. And then we have the Confederates with Johnston and Beauregard, a few more leaders, some cavalry, yada yada yada. And maps. It's supposed to have a few maps. So I just pulled out 3 of them. I'll start with a smaller one, as this has a few smaller maps for shorter games. So right here is the map for scenario 2. And we have Spain's Field, lots of forest, rivers, road. So the terrain in this is going to be quite brutal. Moving around through that. And on the back, another scenario. Nice art, nice detail, good small map for this scenario 6. A little bit more open. Not much though. One of the things with Shiloh was it was a very wooded, forested battle and fairly crazy and chaotic. And then another map, a larger map. There's no way I'm going to get all this on camera. It's quite the big one. So again, it's dense. Let me just do this. Down south here, mountains. A little bit of a road through the mountains, going across to the river. And as we slowly make our way up. It's still pretty rough terrain, very wooded, with a few open farms and fields here. So I kind of want to see how artillery and things will work with this, as you don't really get much of a clear line. And we get the main and over here on the left, the normal regular terrain and terrain effects, as well as battle events and a few notes. So this is a large game, as this map and the previous one I just showed you go together. Okay, the roads continue on. Anywho, I'm just going to zoom in. We'll take a look at the terrain. It has standard terrain things, bridges, fords, yada yada. Game track, day to night, which day you're on, and then we have the battle events chart. I'm just trying to get that in here. And first day, number of event chits, and what happens when those are drawn. And if I slide over and shimmy over, and just pop out a little bit, you can see here the rest of the map. The river goes up. Pittsburgh Landing is here, down at the bottom where quite a lot of the battle took place. If I recall my history, the Union was had fallen back into here. Gunboats were helping shell the Confederates. Excuse me, Mila. All right, good detail. It's very green because it's like a battle in a forest. Good coloring, standard GMT art that you would expect from this. It is a paper map, but it's a big game. It comes with 3 of these, one of which is double-sided, so I can sort of forgive them on that. I hate paper maps, but with the way things are going now with inflation and stuff, putting mounted maps in this game would have really drastically increased the price. Hopefully in the future, if this game does well enough, they'll come out with a map upgrade kit. We've got our player aid cards. Make sure that's in focus. There we go, your player aids. Title, rally table, a loose cannon, brigade orders, brigade coordination, etc. Die roll, the effects. It's a comprehensive player aid as it opens up, and we get our range. This game, again, with a bit of the difficulty, if I pull in a little bit here, you can see like the type of weapon being used. It really breaks things down. Musket, rifle, musket, a carbine, a Dimmick rifle, shotgun, pistol, or an older rifle, and how that affects. So it does really get into minutia. Field artillery, what kind of field artillery are we using here? And then how each of those. So that can bog down games a bit. Stacking, non-phasing artillery. Over here, beautiful art. I like the art that GMT puts in. A lot of it's historical and just beautiful, wonderful stuff. And our fire tables. Oops, they're not actually in frame. There we go. Fire tables and the adjustments to your fire table down there. And on the back, a shock resolution table with die roll and the results, and then the adjustments just below that. And then procedure, odds ratio, and then more nice picture. And another player aid card, which of course with 2 players you would need. Our terrain effects. Which again is fairly standard stuff. And there are 2 of these terrain effects charts. I will just come in and let you take a look. So, how it affects foot, cavalry, artillery, leaders, fire, shock, and if it can be used to block. We've got all the, from fields to farms to a minor pond, river, lake. You name it, it is. Got a category here. So there's quite a lot of terrain and terrain effects on this, but you saw the maps. It is rough, brutal terrain. And then we get into special scenarios. Set up for those scenarios. And some special rules with times, things happening scripted on the back. For the rules for, oops. Rules of the battle in distance was plainly heard. Or the roar of the battle in the distance was plainly heard. Sorry, can't read. I also forgot something on the back of the terrain effects chart. Is a disorder table. So when your units go into disorder, what's going to happen? And then we have a battle event chart using a D100. Nice. The back of the battle events is on ammo resupply. So with all these charts, we're starting to get into quite a lot of rules bloat, because you need to have things everywhere, thumbing through different charts and rules. Again, another copy of the battle events, which is nice. The ammo resupply. I don't like when games are for multiple players, but they only include charts and things for one. And we have another turn track summary for scenarios 1 to 9. And it goes by, basically, it looks like 1 hour turns. Except when you get into night and it gets quite late. And historical notes, artillery holding box, victory points. If I flip it over, it's got another one for scenario 10. And then we have Confederate AM sheet with your units, your brigades, so Pokes, Braggs, Hardys, Breckinridges, Cheatham, Withers, and your eliminated units, some special abilities, they go here. Routed, and on the back we got nothing. And then we have the same for the Union. with McClernand and Wallace, Sherman. And a few unassigned units, and I'm going to guess the back is blank. 2d10 included as well. One for the Union, one for the Confederates. And a big insert, which is garbage. And there you go. That is Into the Woods, the Battle of Shiloh from GMT. So, thank you for watching. Take care. Stay safe, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. All right. Catch you on the flip side.